everyone, I am Anjali. Today I am excited to share my first video presentation on Wavecon, a project I worked on as a part of my virtual internship. Let's get started. Before we get into the numbers and visuals, let me give you a quick background. Wavecon is a leading telecom company and recently launched its 5G services across in 15 cities in India. To support this rollout, they introduced three new plans: P11, P12 and P13 replace the older one P8, P9 and P10. But like any big transition comes with some uncertainty, especially around how customers would respond and what the impact this would have on revenue. That's where this analysis comes in. The main aim is to understand customer response to new plans, KPI performance pre and post 5G, and plan-wise revenue. Before we dive into the insights, here is a quick overview of the data we are working with. This analysis is based on two key time periods: before 5G launch, January to April 2023; after 5G launch, June to September 2023. May was excluded as this was a transition month. The dataset covers 15 cities across the country. In terms of plan, earlier we had P1, P1 to P10. Post 5G launch, three new plans were introduced: P11, P12 and P13, replacing the older plans P8, P9 and P10. The main KPI we focused for this analysis are TUSU, total user who unsubscribe from the network; revenue for all the plan; TAU, total active user who are using the network; ARPU, average revenue per user. Now let's take a quick look at the key business questions that shaped our analysis. These questions help us focus on what really matters, from revenue impact to plan performance after 5G launch. We will be addressing each of these questions through data insight in the next few slides. Let's start with the first question, impact of 5G launch on overall revenue. Overall revenue declined slightly, just by 0.5% after the 5G launch. But this small dip hides a bigger variation at the city level. Cities like Delhi, Ahmedabad and Chennai saw a noticeable decline, while other Lucknow, Gurgaon and Raipur actually recorded the growth. Mumbai continues to generate the highest revenue overall, despite some major cities seeing a drop. Raipur recorded the lowest total revenue among all 15 cities. Next is about underperforming KPIs post 5G launch. After the 5G launch, TUSU rose sharply from 5.6 million to 7.0 million, which is a 23.5% increase. This shows that significant number of users opted out after the rollout. In fact, in cities like Lucknow, Pune and Jaipur, nearly 50% of the customers unsubscribed, highlighting serious retention issues in this key market. Not only TUSU rise, but the overall total active user also declined significantly after the launch of 5G, from 84.4 million to 77.4 million, marking an 8.28% drop. Among the most affected cities were Ahmedabad, Delhi and Raipur, each experiencing approximately 18.93% reduction in active user, which signals a concerning trend in a user engagement. Moving to the third question, is any plan significantly impacted by the 5G launch? Should it be continued or discontinued? Yes, plan P7 is affected. Its revenue fell sharply from 146 million to 43 million, clearly signaling the loss of user interest. It may be wise to consider phasing it out or replacing it with more relevant offering. Meanwhile, plans P4, P5, and P6 had a minor drop. These plans are not failing, but they may require some fine tuning, like price tweak or a value addition, to remain competitive in the evolving 5G environment. In this slide, we examine how individual plans perform after the 5G launch. So, plan P1 to P3 remain consistent and stable in terms of revenue, indicating strong market fit. However, plan P4 to P6 saw a moderate decline, dropping from 243 million to 212 million, which may need slight tuning or promotional support. The biggest concern is Plan P7, which dropped significantly from 146 million to just 43 million, showing a steep decline in user preference. This may need complete review or discontinuation. The last question is there any plan that is discontinued after the 5G launch? What is the reason for it? Yes, three plans P8, P9, and P10 were discontinued. The reason behind their discontinuation were first, these plans were built for 4G, could not keep up with the speed and data need of 5G users. Second, new plans P11, P12, and P13 were introduced and offering better value, faster speed, and improved user experience. Lastly, removing the outdated plans simplified the offering, making it easier for users to pick up the right plan without confusion. To conclude, here are three key recommendations to help Wavecon improve performance post 5G launch. First, launch targeted campaigns in cities like Lucknow, Pune, and Jaipur, where the unsubscribed users were significantly high. Second, plans like P4, P5, and P6 saw a moderate decline. This can be redesigned or repositioned to better meet user expectations. If plan P7 does not improve, it may be best to phase it out based on users' feedback and market trends. Lastly, introduce affordable and dual compatible plans that support both 4G and 5G. This will help budget conscious users to transition smoothly and expand customer base. This brings me to the end of the presentation. Uh, I'm sincerely thankful to Dhawan sir, Hemanand sir, and entire Code team. Your support really helped me to step forward with confidence.